Here we are in the World War I gallery of the San Diego Air and Space Museum. In back of me is the world's first fighter plane. This is known as the Eindecker E-3. It was designed about 1915. It actually has a machine gun on top that can fire through the propeller. The reason it's important is it was able to shoot down observation airplanes flown by the British and the French. When World War I started, most people were using the old cavalry on horseback, running around searching to see what was going on over the other side of the hill. The problem with that was the technology that was developed in the late 1800s being the machine gun and barbed wire. Machine gun, barbed wire, and horses do not match. So the cavalry was largely put out of business, and they needed a way to see what was around the bend over the hill. And so they found someone thought the idea of using airplanes. Originally, they started flying observation airplanes, both sides, back and forth, and they'd wave at each other, and then pretty soon somebody shot at somebody else, and after that, along came the Scourge, the Fokker Scourge, the Fokker Eindecker, which was able to get in back of other airplanes and shoot them down just by getting in back of them. One of the significant things about this thing, two significant things. One, it has a rotary engine. As you can see, the engine turns with the propeller. This is significant because it's air-cooled. When you start this thing up, it's ready to fly right now. It doesn't have to warm up the oil or anything else. You're ready to go. The second thing about it that's significant, it has wing warping. In other words, like birds fly. You warp the wings. You don't use ailerons or things like that to make the thing turn. This airplane was significant, not very fast, about 75 miles an hour maximum speed, probably 3,000 feet maximum altitude. One of the problems they had during the war was a lack of castor oil. These engines run on gasoline, very low octane gasoline, but to lubricate the engine, they ran castor oil through it from a castor bean. The Germans did not have a lot of it, and this was a significant problem then throughout World War I, is having enough castor oil to run these airplanes with these rotary engines in them. Pointed out here, the Spandau machine gun, one machine gun that carried about 500 rounds, and again, it was used so you could sneak up the back of the other airplane, pull the trigger, dead shot straight away, you can shoot the other airplane down. It was not a hard airplane to fly. There weren't many of them made, 249 they made. One of the more significant pilots of World War I was Max Immelmann. Immelmann developed a technique of turning his airplane around, which now we refer to as an Immelmann turn. This is one of the first things you learn in pilot training. It's basically like this. You pull the nose up, you come over the top, and then roll out at the top. Immelmann died. He was killed in June of 1916. And they weren't too sure. Either the bullet, the timing of the machine gun caused the bullet to hit the prop, thereby losing the prop, or one of the wires was hit by another airplane. He was involved in a dogfight. These pilots were very famous in the country as poster boys for the war. The war was a horrible situation for both sides because they were fighting the trenches. These guys were above the trenches. They were the knights of the air. And people like Immelmann and Oswald Boelcke were the first two guys to receive the Blue Max, or the Pour le Mérite. Anyway, come down and join us at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. We have a wonderful World War I gallery, and we have docents who can tell you all about it. Thank you.